Good evening and welcome to the Adventures in Lollygagging. I am Aaron. I have supplanted Stephen and his Tuesday evening slot for a couple of weeks while we run a fantastic game that's on Kickstarter right now called Heroic Deeds. As I said, the Kickstarter is ongoing. It's got 15 days left. So if you like what you see here tonight, definitely go check it out. We'll be dropping some links about the Kickstarter and the fact that you can go to drive-through-RPG right now and download the quick starter rules. So you can actually get in, design your characters, take it for a spin, see how it goes. There's also pre-gens on drive-through-RPG and a quick adventure, so you can check it out yourself. In addition, there is a Discord dedicated to heroic deeds, and Pete Lattimore, the author of the game, is there and answering questions and explaining more about the game and the setting. And if you just can't get enough of our actual play of heroic deeds, you can always jump over to Garblag Games YouTube channel, and Pete has been running heroic deeds himself for the last couple of months. You could check out episodes of that and see the author and expert of the game running it himself. However, he's graciously allowed us to jump into his world for a few weeks and showcase it for those of us here in the United States. So come along and enjoy the journey. First, a little bit about Pete. He is the founder and Twitch director of Garblag Games. He is the creator of Dodeca, which was a design that came out a couple of years ago and is kind of their precursor to Heroic Deeds. He's also a published ttrpg cartographer, and he is the prime Garblag over at the Garpocalypse. The artists for this game, and the art is beautiful in it, by the way, are Dean Spencer and Mustafa Bakir. I hope I am pronouncing those names correctly. Well, I'm pretty sure Dean Spencer is right. Mustafa Bakir, I'm not 100% sure on. If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize. If you joined us last week, we went through character creation, which it's a very interesting process where the players define their legend by rolling a d12 that expresses bits of their life, kind of a life path system. So what we're going to do to start out this evening is we're going to go around. Everybody's going to tell us what their legend was, and then they're going to tell us how they used that legend to develop their character's backstory and a little bit about them. So let's start with Kipser.
I had a number of legends that pointed me towards being more or less a fighting class. So I wrote a backstory. Now, just so you know, Frosty the Jotun imagines when they hear everyone else, it's like they're hearing chipmunk voices because they're speaking so quickly. So in their own head, they speak normally. I'm not going to do this in a voice. I was born to parents who traveled the lands, taking jobs as farmhands as the seasons and work appeared, or selling plant-based mixtures. I never took to the work, and as was tradition in our ancestors, when our ancestors resided in the summit city of Jorgengrid, Aaron, is that right?
It's close enough.
Cool. To help learn and find ourselves. When I was yet young, I was sent off to survive on my own for a full season. As winter took hold, some gnome children found me and thought I was living a construct of their games. C'est-tu joué? They hid me in a shed, brought me food, and we all played together in the snow. However, the seasons began to change. An army marched on the gnome community, and men found us in the shed. I was able to overpower one and took his sword for myself. I learned I was very good with steel that day and trained and protected those I could, keeping the gnomes safe with my swift actions. One evening, I heard of some ancient sword that never dulled, which I could use to protect my community. I have set out to find it, working with a mercenary group along the way. I accidentally followed this gnome and dwarf who fled the battlefield like complete cowards because they reminded me of small wounded animals that I needed to help.
And so that's Frosty the Jotun. Speaking of gnomes, Jeff, what do you got?
Sorry, I was trolling.
You busy writing? Hey yo!
My bad. That was very funny. That was a good line. That's a good line.
That's good. That's funny.
Okay. Do you want me to go through like what I actually rolled, or just jump right into what I came up with?
Either way.
Okay.
Either way.
So, Sonny Kaboom, which is my name, I was raised by my family within a very rigid hierarchy of a for-hire military company, mercenary group. I wasn't a soldier per se. I learned various tinkering arts. I built and repaired crossbows and siege equipment and this sort of thing. I worked with alchemists and rune wielders to create like powerful explosives and such. I had a best friend. His name was Gnarly Cash, and he was also a gnome, also a tinkerer. And as we developed our skills, the leadership of the company took advantage of the fact that we had a very diminutive size. So they sent us on various dangerous sabotage missions where we had to dig tunnels and delve through all sorts of unstable caverns just to pop up near a base or a keep or something and affix some sort of chemical explosive to the walls. And it was during one of these missions when poor Gnarly Cash died. He was slaughtered by a ruthless sorcerer who just cackled madly over and over at Gnarly's pain and my grief. I don't know the sorcerer's name, but he bore the symbol of a red bison, and the sigil is forever burned in my memory. Now, I did manage to escape the red bison, and when I returned to the company and asked the leadership, for aid in avenging Gnarly, my cries fell on deaf ears, and even worse, the leadership expelled Gnarly's widow and children because they didn't have anything to contribute to the mercenaries. So I was fairly disgusted, as you might imagine, by their indifference and their cruelty. So I turned my back on the organization and I forged my own path. Started adventuring, doing some dark delving, that sort of thing. And so I utilized my expertise in tunneling, machinery, and traps, and navigating all sorts of depths of the world mountain. But, despite my newfound freedom, I carry the weight of my friend's memory with me. And every time I plunder and I get some spoils, I set aside a certain portion for Gnarly's widow and his children to make sure they're cared for. The end.
Well, that's fantastic. Sonny Kaboom, the gnome. So apparently we've got a dwarf coward that we need to hear from. Stephen?
Coward? I am no coward.
That's what Frosty says that you are. I don't know.
Frosty doesn't know shit. She put on a hat yesterday and now she acts like she's been around forever. Okay, so I am playing Black Lotus, which was shortened to BL and was bastardized into Billy, as he is known by his friends. And Black Lotus has had one piece of good luck in his entire life, and that was to be born to the prestigious Lotus family, this line of renowned dwarven rune wielders that has produced generations of legendary adventurers. However, his luck ran out immediately afterwards. Billy was conceived during one of his father's adventures while among the stalactite-dwelling hawkfolk, because he was born in the clouds. Unfortunately, his father died a few nights later, and his mother tragically died shortly after the birth, leaving the infant dwarf as an orphan, surrounded by folk that were not his kind and in an element that was not his own. The only possession Billy had of his father's was his copy of the Lotus Chronicles, a book detailing all the secrets and journeys of the Lotus family. And the written words of his long dead kin taught young Billy all he knew about his own heritage, which often clashed with the wisdom and the culture that was taught by the Hawkfolk. And it led Billy to become quite a bit cynical, choosing only to trust what he can see. I trust what I can see before me. Instead of hoping for gods or the ether to make his life better, he chose to do it himself. And that's not to say that Billy doesn't believe in greater powers. No, the chronicles go into far too much detail about dark forces that lie in slumber, aching for release from ancient prisons. The world has taught me a dark truth. And these dark truths are undeniable and make the wars of kings look like the petty squabbles of children. When Billy finally came of age, he looked to complete his father's final quest. He was following the clues and hints from his father's diary, and Billy found himself deep below the ruins of Arlorn, where he discovered a hidden trove, an arcane codex inscribed in stone. Magic came to me in a strange discovery. And with this newfound strength, the arcane codex had magic runes on it that would allow him to wield the same powers as his father before him. And with this newfound strength, Billy has one objective: to perform heroic deeds of such legend that he can also be eternally remembered in his family's chronicle. He seeks a forbidden knowledge. Also, Billy likes carrots.
Can't go wrong with carrots. They're delicious. All right, so we've heard from our Jotun, our gnome, and our dwarf. Let's hear from our Saurian.
So for Denza Gix, I was born in a long shadow. My mother traded secrets that got several members of our clan killed, and I was born in exile. My earliest lessons were how to steal and look cute enough when caught to bring home even more than expected. We were nomadic. We learned about each new area long before entering, listening to the gossip of the travelers and guards. As my wild walker skills developed, I became more and more torn between my abilities to commune with and mimic the natural world and the desire for the comforts that gold can buy.
I love it. So now we've got our cast of characters. I just want to remind everybody out there. So this is the first time everybody's played this game. So first time I've run this game. So we're going to take it slow. We're going to look things up in the book when required. We're going to check the rules. We want to make this as correct as possible. In the chat, if you've been watching along with Pete's playthrough or anything, if you see something that we do wrong, please call it out. Otherwise, we are going to remind everybody where we left off from last week, and then we're going to jump into the action. So last week, after character creation, we found our group having fled the bandit kingdoms. There were skirmishes between two bandit lords. They had been hired as a mercenary squad and ended up on the losing side. So they fled the battle on dying mounts. The mounts passed away long before they reached the village of Hommlet, and they pulled themselves into the village looking for some respite, some rest, some recovery, some food and drink, and for a job. Denza followed a lead and found two traders, perhaps of slightly dubious character, but who were willing to pay them in good gold to track down their third partner, who had stolen a magical key that they had been researching and fled. The key opens a secret gate or a secret lock that leads to possibly greater treasure. But what the partners know, and the one who fled does not, is that the location of the secret vault, the secret lock that fits this magical key, is unknown. So the individual who fled, a rune wielder himself by the name of Castor Voss, has perhaps 2 days lead on the party, but the traders believe that it would take him more than a couple of days to deal with what's probably in the old abandoned moat house and find the secret. So they've been dispatched to retrieve the key, if possible, retrieve the key and Castor Voss, and if even beyond that, if they can find the actual lock that the key fits, they would be paid a ransom in gold. And so we find our 4 intrepid adventurers walking out of the village of Hommlet in the rain, headed towards the old abandoned and possibly haunted moat house deep within the bog. The sky continues to darken as the storm's intensity increases. The rain soaks you all as you follow the old road towards the abandoned moat house, hidden within the depths of the stinking bog, some 2 days' march out. The first day passes in misery, but without incident, the old road being firm and wide. But as the second day dawns and the bog grows closer, the old road becomes pitted and cracked, and then becomes simply a hardened trail. And then as the early afternoon of the second day finds you entering the bog, the road itself begins to disappear beneath the black, brackish waters. I need you all to decide who's scouting for the path for your party and what the other 3 of you are doing. Are you working as lookouts? Are you foraging? What's your plan?
I'm decent at survival, but not amazing.
I'm not a scout, sorry. I'll look out for things. I've got really good eyes. I can see everything. You can never get anything past me. But I don't really know the difference between a hill and a mound and a mountain.
I have good survival.
Then I will be
can't
explaining
hear
to
you.
Sunny.
All the way up there. I don't know why, but I can't hear you, tall one, up there.
Big, too big.
Is this going to be a thing where I start talking and then I learn that you're not actually done talking?
No.
What?
And I wait a
Okay.
moment just to be sure that she is done before I go on to tell Sunny the difference between a mound, a hill, and a mountain. And it's quite academic, and it's measured in feet, dwarven feet.
Ah, okay. I mean, I kind of knew that. I was just saying that as like a joke, but to demonstrate my affable demeanor.
Oh no, it's fine. The problem with measuring things with dwarven feet, though, is that not all dwarves have the same size foot. So you have to take the average of every dwarf in the party.
Ah, well, we never really use dwarven feet as a measurement, because, as you
Well,
said,
it's the most
very...
accurate tool to measure.
It's really not. We had like measuring sticks and such, in which we had predefined distances. We're really getting off topic here, Denza. Maybe you take the lead.
Yes,
and after
I
about
will do
25 minutes of conversation, the afternoon is wearing on. The light is starting to fade beneath these ancient willow trees. You also do quickly realize that Billy and Sunny and Denza, based on your heights, the bog itself may start to get deep enough, even if you find the path, that you will be fairly deep in water, which could impact your ability to move easily.
Hey, Frosty, knock knock.
And Sunny will knock on your shin like it's a door.
Can I get a piggyback ride? Can you just? I can see
Here, I will pick you up.
With our 2 statures combined, we can be like the tallest thing ever.
You add 3 centimeters, but yes, here you go.
I don't really understand what it is about this group that doesn't understand basic measurements.
Frosty picks you up while you're
More
still
than
talking and puts you on
3
your shoulders.
centimeters.
Billy looks
So-
at Denza expectantly.
So what is Frosty and Sunny and Billy doing, or are you doing anything in particular?
Sonny is observing left and right and behind. Hey, just making sure not being snuck up on or anything like that.
I like it. Okay.
Frosty is just walking straight, not really paying attention to very much. And only one person has asked for a piggyback ride, so that's all that's offered.
Billy and Denza are probably okay height-wise.
I'm asking her for uppies nonetheless. I don't think I'm going to be doing much else.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
This is fine.
as the afternoon wears on, Denza begins scouting out, trying to stay on the path in this bog. That becomes more and more difficult as the afternoon wears on. So I need you, Denza, to make a difficulty 3 observe or survival check. No,
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
just
Let's do a difficulty 1 check to begin with.
okay. So survival is under vigor,
Mhm.
and I've got 3 in vigor, so that means I've got 3 dice.
Correct.
One of which is identified as hero dice,
Mhm.
and then because I have a 3 in survival, that means
takes
that
it
my
down.
target is an 8.
Yes, that is correct. So as long as you get an 8 or better on one of those dice.
I got an 8 on one of the dice.
Okay. So you're able to keep everyone on this submerged path as you're pushing your way through the muck. It's about waist deep on Denza. Obviously, Frosty barely notices it, but you're able to keep everybody moving on the path as the afternoon wears on. You get a little further on, and there's a sort of a break coming up in the brush around you, and about a quarter of a mile away, you think you can make out the old moat house sitting on a slightly raised hillock out of the bog. At this point, I need Sunny and Denza to give me a difficulty 3 observe or survival check. And that is you have to succeed on 3 dice.
Gonna say something if no one's getting anything from me.
Right.
So tell us what skill you're picking.
Yeah. I'm doing, you said is observe is an option, right? Is that just it?
Observe or survival, either one.
I will do observe. I have
I'll do
straight
survive.
I have straight 5 in guile.
I'm the guilest of guiles.
And none in observe, so I need 11s. Right?
Yeah, you need 3 11s.
Okay. Does the when the hero die matches, right? That's like
yeah.
in okay.
Yep, that'll give you 1 success. Now, if the hero die is a success and matches another die, that would give you 2 successes. But
No, I rolled 2 2s and an 11, so I have unfortunately only 2 successes.
okay.
I rolled survival again, and I got 1 success.
Okay, so as you're looking, Denza, you're focused on keeping everybody on the path, and Sunny, you're at a height, and you're scanning the bog. You're looking around for dangers and everything, but you don't see anything, and you definitely miss the few bubbles bubbling up in the bog to the side of the road until something large erupts out of it. And at this point, we're going to have our first combat encounter. So we are going to be dealing with a Darkmire Leaper, which is a giant toad or 2. So the way this works is we roll initiative first, and you either roll, one of you either rolls observe or tactics to represent either the fact that you're very observant and you see things coming, or tactics, your awareness and understanding of the battlefield gives you kind of a heads up. Now, since you were not aware of them, they get a surprise, not a surprise action, but in a surprise situation in heroic deeds, they get to add 2 additional dice to their roll to see if they get to go first. So with the Darkmire Leaper, their observe is 10 plus, and they have 3 guile. So I'm going to roll 5 dice for them. Who is going to roll initiative for our party of wayward adventurers?
I am just as good at tactics as Sunny is at observe.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I think it's got to either be Sunny or Jenza, because they were the only 2 who were actually paying attention.
Yeah,
I think
you were just talking
Sunny's
about
got
your
one on
faith
me.
for the past hour.
Yeah, I've got a 4 in education and 1 in tactics, so I think you're the better roll, Sunny.
No, that's better because your 1 will drop it down to a 10, and so you have 4 dice and needing a 10. I have 5 dice and needing 11.
Well, okay. Then
Right?
I will
Is that right, Steven? You're the one who knows dice odds.
I don't know. That's close.
Just go ahead and roll.
Yeah,
You
I
got it.
think that's the better one.
You'll be fine.
That was an awful roll.
Plus, she's supposed to lie. Like, that's the other thing.
So-
Oh,
Hey,
also we
can
forgot
I
Melissa
use-
can't roll.
I just did the math. The 5 dice is better than the 4.
We
Ah,
should switch.
they lie.
Yeah.
And
However,
can
Yes,
I
go ahead.
spend vitality to reroll?
You can spend a luck point to read.
A luck point to reroll.
So yes, I'm going to flip I've got little tokens, and I'm going to flip it over to bad luck now. So I've got a point of bad luck to spend at some point, and now you get to
And-
reroll, but you have to take this roll. It's not
Well,
the
yeah,
better of the 2.
I
You
had
have to take
0
the second.
successes, so
Oh, that's fair.
that's very good. That is 3 successes.
That is very good. It's not quite as good as the 4 successes I got, though. So
Well, that's just unfortunate.
it's potato. So what we see, as you see this bursting out, but just a fraction of a second after, this giant frog, the slime coming off of its body, its eyes rolling, looking at you, this huge mouth open, large enough to swallow 3 dwarfs whole, as this tongue lashes out let's get, okay, we'll just roll here at Denza. So the way combat works is the monsters have certain traits or skills or abilities that they get to use, and what I roll is, for this one, he's going to use his sticky tongue to try to restrain you. And with a tongue lash, that's an observe skill. So he's going to roll his observe, which is just 3 dice and a 10 plus. Now, if he succeeds, then we roll the strength of the attack against your minus the protection against. Well, we roll against your defense to see how much damage it goes. But
Okay.
we'll get there. I got 110, so the attack succeeds. However, he's got to spend 1 vitality to make this special attack. And what happens is the toad makes a tongue lash. And instead of inflicting any damage, you are restrained, equal to the number of successes he got. So you're restrained 1. You have that condition, and restrained means you can't move on your own. Basically, his sticky tongue has wrapped around your body. And as a result of that, he gets to move you a number of squares equal to its might directly towards it. Now, it is currently 15 feet away from you. Yes.
There's just waving me goodbye.
I was waving
Keep
goodbye
in
to him,
mind,
like,
though,
Oh,
it was really
see.
fun playing a party
So-
member with you.
however this matters mechanically, I have a belly on my shoulders. So I have more to me than I might usually have, if that matters for how much the toad can move.
Not really. But it's
Okay.
not. It's a good idea. So it can move you a number of squares equal to its might. It has a might of 2. So you're 15 feet away from it as this tongue lashes around you, and it pulls you to within 5 feet of its mouth. With its first action, Now, in Heroic Deeds, you get 3 actions and a reaction. So the toad is going to take its second action, which actually requires 2 actions in its action economy. And since you are now adjacent to it, it is going to attempt to swallow you whole. So the toad will make a bite attack against its restrained adjacent enemy. And the bite attack is against its might. Its might is 9+ with a 4 with 4 dice. So let's see how this goes. Only gets 1 success. But 1 success. And what is your all right, now it did succeed, so now we're going to roll the strength of its attack, which is 6 dice, and it's elemental damage. So do you have any resistances? What's your protection value of your armor? Or
I have no armor.
Okay, so you have no protection against the attack. So it rolls 6 dice against your defense. So what is your toughness defense?
7.
7. So he's got to get better than a 7 on one of these 6 dice to successfully perform this maneuver. Oh my God. I did not get above a 7 on 5 d12s, but I am going to spend my point of bad luck. I'm going to flip it back to good luck.
I just gave you.
That you just gave me, and we're going to try this again.
Perfect.
Because I think that's only fair. All right, that's better. I got a 9, an 8, and a 7. So that's 3 successes. If successful, the target takes elemental damage instead of piercing damage and is swallowed and gains the restrained 3 condition. At the start of its turn, the swallowed creature suffers a strength 6 elemental damage attack versus their toughness again as you're being digested by the frog. The target escapes if they resolve the condition or the toad dies. So you take the damage, you take the 3 points of damage off of your vitality, and you have been swallowed. You are in the gullet of this giant toad, sloshing around in its acid. Now, the restrained condition can be resisted on your turn by either might or prowess. So while you're in there, you're trying to throw off these conditions, and for each success you get, you reduce 1 of the condition levels. And when you're down to 0 restrained conditions, you manage to free yourself. So you're restrained 3 at the moment. But the way Heroic Deeds works is now that my guys who won the initiative have taken a turn, you're up, and you can take an action.
Okay.
Anybody on your side?
Yeah.
Like,
and
you could.
I assume Billy jumped off of Denza's shoulders as she was being eaten.
And I'm sure he very gracefully landed.
Actually,
you're not ride or die? You're not ride or die? Literally?
No, it's ride or die.
Actually, I do think that's a very good point, and I think that Billy needs to make a might check for his first action, difficulty 1, not to go under in the bog.
I'm great at might. I've got vigor of 3 and might of 0.
Okay, so you've got to get 11
thanks,
or
Sonny.
better on 3 dice.
Okay. I did not get an 11. However, my hero die, thank you, Lolly die, thanks, Norse Foundry, is a 9, which ties with my other 9.
So you got a
that's
success.
1 success.
So what's it look like is Billy is thrown off of Denza's shoulders, but still manages to stick his landing.
So I think Billy probably saw this frog coming before Denza did, and he just kind of panicked and like moved his arms, kind of like choked her and put his hand like over her face a bit, and that's how she got hit by this tongue, and it just like ripped her out of his arms, and he just kind of fell straight down and landed on his feet as Denza's being pulled away.
Nice. Okay.
I can't see. Where did I go? Where? Damn it.
So
Whoever wants
I
to
guess
do
I'll-
lots of damage, go ahead.
I'm
I'll
just
attack,
waiting to.
but,
I
like, I
assume
wanna-
Melissa's going to try to
Yeah,
get out
exactly.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm restrained, so it's might or prowess. And oh, well, that's not something that I'm either particularly
You've got
good with.
3 actions, so you can make 3 attempts to reduce your restrained conditions.
So, all right, I'm just going to be straightforward about this, and then I'll have a question for you next time. So I'm rolling 3 dice, and I've got nothing in my or prowess. So I'm just going to.
Okay, 11 or
give this a
better.
roll.
Or hero
Um,
dice match is another.
Oh, nope. Nope, but I'm going to give you luck because, I don't want to
All
just
right.
hang out inside this frog. So I don't think it's particularly statistically likely I'm going to pass, but it's going to give you bad luck. Yep. I'm still inside.
Okay. Was that all 3 of your actions or just one of your actions?
Oh. Oh. So I could just try to get out 3 times?
Yeah, but remember, each time you try to do it,
It's harder.
it increases the difficulty. So the second time
Okay.
you'd have to get 3 successes.
Can I give Melissa support by using my technique Shield Barge, in which I would assumably run my shield into the stomach of this toad? It gives me you step 10/2 and may move through an enemy space while doing so, but must end the step in an enemy square.
You can on your turn.
Okay.
So yes, you definitely can on your turn.
Okay.
I will. Can I hold so that if they have done some damage to get me out, then I can try again?
So the way hold works is you spend 2 actions to hold 1 action. I'm going to go ahead because I want to see this mechanic play out here. I'm going to say we're going to negate your first roll, and
Okay.
we're going to let you hold and see if one of your other party members' assistants can help you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So we see Frosty getting ready to charge at this frog. However, a second giant frog jumps out of the other side of the bog and lands with its sudden leap feature, which takes 2 actions, and lands next to Frosty's leg and attempts to bite this Jotun's tree-like leg. So the thorny bite is a might attack. As I said, the might's got 4 dice. It's got to get a 9 or better. It gets a 12. Okay, so it gets 1 success, nothing on the hero dice to help out. But 1 success is enough. So what is your protection value? This is a strength 6 attack.
So I've got the kite shield, which is 1 protection, and the chain hobart, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. So I have a total of 3 protection. Is that correct?
So tell us about the mechanic that allows you to raise your shield outside of your action.
Oh,
So everybody knows that we're playing by the rules.
So my that is page 25. I have an ability called is it oh dear, I was not looking. Here it is. Sword and board, defensive. On a successful attack. Okay, so I can't actually raise it right now. I need to attack first. My
So
apologies.
you've got 2 protection.
Yes.
And what is your toughness defense?
My toughness is 7. My defense is 8.
Okay. So because your protection, you reduce the strength of the attack by 2. He only got the 1 success, so he's down to 4 dice. And you said your toughness is your protection is what?
My toughness is 7. My protection is 2, and my defense is 8.
8. He got 2 9s. 3 9s. Sorry, 3 9s. So that is actually enough to do some damage. So this giant frog's thorny maw just gums around your leg, and you feel these hard ridge lines of proto teeth and gums gnashing against your flesh, tearing away at it, and you take 3 points of vitality.
Ouch.
But it is back to you. So we have Denza stuck in the gullet of a giant frog, slowly being absorbed by its stomach acid, and we've got another one hanging on to Frosty's leg. But it is back to you.
So I'm going to first pull out my longsword and just try to strike it down at the frog on my foot or leg.
Okay.
So I have 7 dice for the longsword, I believe, right?
On the longsword? What does it say for your attack? Is it prowess or might?
Prowess.
Okay, so it's your prowess. So your
That's
total
6
dice.
dice.
I don't think.
Oh, sorry, 5 for training.
Training, yeah. Your total number of dice is your training value. Okay, so you're rolling 5 dice, and what is your prowess? How many points of prowess do you have?
I have 1.
Okay, so your target number is 10. You roll 5 dice, and you want to get 10 or better.
All right. I have an 11 and a 10, and then everything else is below. So I have 2 successes.
All you need is 1. So the blow is moving to land true. So what is the strength of your longsword attack?
The strength of the longsword attack, I believe that's probably where I was
With the
looking at the 7.
7, yep, that would be about right. So you got 2 successes, so you got 1 more than you needed. So that takes the strength of the attack up to 8. However, they do have a protection value of 1 against slashing. So you're back down to 7. So you roll 7 dice, and you're trying to get 9 or better.
All right, 7 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm looking for. Okay, I got a I got a 12 on my special dice. And then I've got another 12, and then everything else is below a 6, so not useful.
Okay, so you got 2 successes. So what's it look like as you tear?
With the special dice as well.
Okay, you got 3 successes. What's it look like as you strike down at this giant toad?
So Frosty just kind of grunts in annoyance and discomfort at this, kind of aware of the gnome on her shoulder, makes sure to keep the shoulders kind of flat and table-like, and just like strike straight down, aiming kind of between the eyes to try to dislodge it a little bit with her sword.
And you do pierce through the blubbery amphibious skin of this toad and tear a gash in it. But it doesn't look like it's too discomforted by that. In fact, as you're looking down, as you plunge the sword in, you can see like great scars across its body from bite marks and other battles that it's had. So it's toughened to this, but you did draw blood. Both of the toads have already taken all of their actions, so...
I'll thank.
Billy, Sonny, Denza...
Sonny will go. He'll team
Oh,
up.
wait a second. I apologize. Hold on. I forgot that Frosty still has 2 actions left. What would you like to do with your other 2 actions?
Okay, so
Question first.
Yes.
Before you do that. So technically, would she not... So are we saying that she already had her axe out and ready and equipped? Because it would be like 1 action.
That's a good point. Did you have to draw your weapon, or did you have it out?
I would have had to have drawn my weapon, so that would have been 2 actions.
2 actions. Yeah. So you've got 1 action left.
Mm-hmm.
Good catch, Jeff.
Is the frog still attached to my leg?
It is.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry, Melissa. Then I am just going to.
Now you could take a might action to try to force it off of your leg, push it off of your leg.
I think I'm just going to have to
raise
stab
shield.
Down. I am going to actually...
Until the start of your next turn, you can increase your protection value.
I'm going to use my sword and board to this hit, which is what I was trying to do before, where I have a successful hit, which means I can use 1 vitality to raise my shield as a free action. However, I still do want to try to stab again.
Okay, so that's a difficulty 3 this time. So you have to get 3 successes.
Okay. So I will roll the 5 dice first. That is, not too bad. So I've got 2 10s and a 12 because my prowess is 1. So, and the 10 is on my special dice as well.
Okay. So 2 10s and a 12. So that's 3 successes. Yeah, 4 successes. Sorry. So you got 1 success more than you needed. But you're still back. So it would have been 8 strength on the attack, but because of protection value of 1, takes it back down to 7. And you are looking for a 9+ on 7 dice. Okay,
I'm going to use these ones. I will ditch these ones because they're not going to roll as high. I have a 10 and an 8, and then the rest don't do squat.
Okay, so 2 more. So what's it look like as you slash down a second time against this?
So aiming more as a side thrust to try to then sort of jerk it through the mouth and cut it open enough that it would instinctively let go. Though unsuccessful maybe at this time. That is what her strike looks like.
Okay, so you tear at its mouth. It's still got itself clamped around your leg, but you are whittling away. Now its eyes are goggling a little bit in pain, and you can tell that you've done enough that it's may perhaps beginning to regret in its small, tiny toad brain its life choices.
And then I will dock 1 vitality for sword and board to bring my protection up. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, Sonny, Denza,
okay.
Billy.
Oh, Sonny wants to help his teammate, his lower half, to finish this off. So he's going to first action equip, get his crossbow. Obviously, he's wrapping his legs around Frosty's neck as tight as can be. And then he's going to...
Now, I actually do have a question. There's no load action, but there is a load property. Is the equip... Is load built into that? Because it says take an item out and prepare it for use or stow it safely, or is it like a separate thing?
I would say for crossbows and things like that, your first shot, you're loaded. You don't need to worry about that. After you fire it, then you've got to deal with the number of actions required to reload.
Okay. So I will, first action, equip, get it out. Second action, aim, which gives me an extra die on a ranged attack if it's my next action, which will now be my third action, which is to attack. For a crossbow, the skill is operate. I have 2 in operate and I have 4 in training. So I'm rolling 4 for training, but 1 for aim. And then I'm looking for 9s, basically, because I have 2 in operate. All right.
Oh, sweet, sassy May.
That's 3 successes.
Fantastic. And what is the strength of the crossbow?
6.
Okay. So that would give you 8 dice. It does have a protection value of 1, so that takes it down to 7 dice. Against its evasion is 6+, so it's easier to hit it under the circumstances.
Okay, so I went up 2 from the extra successes, down 1 because of the protection value. So am I at a net of 7? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's there, and I need to hit 6s. All right. Let's see.
That's 1. That's 2. That's 3, and that's 4. 4 6s or higher.
Nice. So you actually tear through the toad's vitality. Now, it would have gone 1 into the wound, but that's not the way the game works. Once you're out of vitality or 0, the next attack then goes into the wounds. So let's talk a little bit about that while we're here. So when you have 0 vitality, you either become stunned or weakened, your choice. Now, stunned means that the creature's guile and evasion are reduced by 2, and weakened means that their vigor and toughness are reduced by 2. So I'm going to say that its guile and evasion are reduced by 2. That makes sense to me. Now, for everybody out home who's watching this and they've got the Darkmire Leaper up in front of them and they say that, well, hey, wait a second. When they do the sudden leap, their evasion increases by 2. That is true, but I don't think under the circumstances, since it's literally clamped his jaws around Frosty's leg, that its evasion would realistically increase under these particular circumstances, and so that's why I did not apply that benefit. It's not because I'm ignoring it, I just using some GM license.
It makes you feel better. The ones I got successes on were 8s and up, so wouldn't have mattered.
Thing of beauty.
So
So this
3 1s, so it was a weird roll.
So this toad is hurting. It's been slashed. It's got a crossbow bolt sticking out of its skull right between its eyes. Didn't penetrate deep enough to kill it, but it's definitely hurting. We now go back to Billy or Denza on her held action.
So Denza is holding her action for someone to attack the toad for her to try and escape again.
To possibly give her a benefit to that, yes.
And no one has attacked the toad so far.
Not so far.
I'm really tempted to just attack the toad that's been hurt and leave Denza there.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Focus
It
fire.
makes sense.
Melissa didn't even like her character. It's fine.
Ouch.
So I've been thinking about what I'm going to do, and every time someone took a turn, I'm like, okay, that wouldn't work as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an action to step or move, whichever I need to get to the toad by Denza, or that's eating Denza. Mm-hmm. And I will just attack with my dagger and try to like start stabbing into the stomach and just like gashing as best I can. I'm not the best with a dagger, but I think it'd be more useful than one of my spells right now.
So that's a move action. Now, what I will say, and because you're really trying to help her get out, right?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to do damage?
Or triggering her action. Either one.
Okay. So I will say this, and this isn't exactly in keeping with the rules, but I like the flavor of it. So with your first action, you move up to it. You can't do a step because you're in water, so it's kind of difficult terrain. But you can take your first action to just move up. You're within a single move distance of this giant toad, and you can go ahead and you can do your attack. But instead of targeting its toughness defense, you can target its defiance in a way to try to stun it, to frighten it, to force it to regurgitate. And for the number of successes, if you succeed, the number of successes on your strength check against its defiance, I will give those as bonus dice to Denza to attempt to get rid of a restrained condition.
That's very generous of you. There's no way I'm going to succeed, though.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm rolling 2 dice here.
So all you got to do is I'm
using a dagger, which requires prowess, and I've got training of 2 and prowess of 0.
Okay, so you just got to get an 11. Just get 1 11 off 2 dice. You remember, don't forget luck.
Or doubles. I got a 12 and a 3. So that's 1 success. There we go.
All you need is 1 success. What is the strength of your dagger?
4.
Okay, 4. Against its defiance, you get to roll 4 dice, and you need to get a 5 or better. And since this is kind of a psychological attack, more than you're not really trying to hurt it, you're trying to scare it. It has no protection against basically a psychic attack. So
fantastic. I rolled 3 successes, 9, 9, 11.
Okay, so you basically you rush in and you stab this dagger at this giant toad's stomach, and it reacts to the movement. And Denza, inside this rolling gut of acid, you feel kind of a squeezing of its stomach muscles, and you think you might have a better chance of breaking free of your restraints. You get 3 bonus dice on your hold action to try to deal with your restrained conditions.
Excellent. Is that all of Billy's 3 actions?
That is 2 out of Billy's 3 actions. So your hold action you can take at any point to interrupt combat. So you can take that now, or you can wait till after Billy's 3rd action. It's up to you.
As long as I'll still keep the benefit, I'll let him go again and be selfish and see if I can get an even better bonus.
So what are you going to try now, Billy?
I was planning on taking cover with my third action, but if she's waiting for me, then I suppose I'll try again.
Don't feel bad because there is no cover in the immediate vicinity to take other than inside the toad itself. So
I was thinking behind the toad from the other toad. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just try hitting it again and hope that one of my 2 dice succeed.
okay, we got to get 3 successes. So you would need doubles and both.
I need to take a picture of this. I rolled lolly. I rolled 12-12. I swear to God.
I believe you.
North Foundry.
I believe you. Okay, so
that's
what's
3
it look
successes
like?
then, right?
Yeah,
because
you got the 3 successes, yeah. You needed 3 successes to hit it. So
what are the odds of that? I'm going to calculate. Yeah, I went to go hide behind the toad. I'm not cowardly, but I am taking cover because that's tactical. And I forgot to like jerk out my dagger from the first attack. So then I kind of go back for it, and I'm just like pulling it and dragging it along and just slicing as I go.
Well, give me that strength check. Now, are you trying to actually inflict damage this time, or are you trying to...
I'm just trying to help.
Okay. So it's 5 or better on your 4 dice.
My dice are hot tonight. That's all 4 successes. 5,
Okay.
8, 8, 9.
All right,
Nice.
so Denza, with your held action, you get 7 bonus dice on this. You've got a restrained condition of 3. Do you remember what you need
Holy
to roll
goodness.
against?
So I am now rolling 10 dice because I've got either vigor or training.
Either
okay, so
might
I have
or
5.
prowess.
So yeah, they're just 3. So I have
Okay.
3 dice plus 7
Mhm.
bonus dice, which is 10.
What is the success criteria for might or prowess for you?
I've got 0 in either.
Okay, 11.
So.
11. So you
Yeah.
just need to get 3 out of those 10 dice better than 11. 11 or better, that is.
Okay. Of the first set of 5, I got a 12 and a bunch of other stuff that's not an 11 or 12. Okay, that's not. No, I've got one more. No. Okay, I'm gonna give you luck.
I love it. Roll those 10 dice again. On 20
Okay.
dice, you'd think you could at least
I'm
three
giving up the
11 better.
112, but
I spent all the luck. I'm sorry.
mm, mm, 5 left.
Oh no.
Well, that's 0 successes.
Okay. So, although this thing's gut rolls and you feel that you've got a chance to push your way out, its jaws are clamped shut tight in pain, and you're not able to get it to force its jaws open as the acid continues to eat at you. Has everybody gone?
Oh. Thank you for pointing that out, Stephen. I wasn't paying attention to doubles.
Okay, so it's just the 1 hero die
Just on the hero die.
against the other 9 dice. So
What was the hero
best you
die the
could
first time you rolled it?
It wasn't high. But what I'm looking at, okay. Yeah, never mind. We'll move on.
Okay. So you're still restrained. It is the top of the round, and it is the Darkmire Leaper who has swallowed Denza. The first thing that happens is Denza suffers a strength 6 elemental damage against your toughness. So what is your toughness?
7.
7. 11, 8, 10, 8, 7. That's 5. What is your protection value against elemental damage? Is 0. So you take... How much vitality does Denza have?
So I started with 9.
Uh-huh.
Last time I went down to 6, and this time I go down to 1.
All right. So you still got vitality. So the acid is burning away at you. And this Darkmire Leaper has a meal in its stomach. So it is going to take a 2-action sudden leap to leap 60 feet away into the bog. However, Billy is right next to it. So Billy could use his reaction to attack the dark mire toad as it tries to leap away with its full belly.
I'll pass. No, I can. Uh,
You're a bad
I'm rolling
man.
2 dice. How many times can my luck hold?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, okay. So Billy swipes out at his dagger as this giant toad takes off and jumps deeper into the bog with 2 actions. And with its third action, it begins to sink down into the bog and try to hide itself. But it's going to take more than 1 turn to get there. It's still within range of ranged attacks, but it's deeper in the bog now, bringing us back to either Denza, Sunny, Frosty, or Billy.
I'll
Sure,
shoot
I'll
it.
go.
I can shoot it.
Okay, we
I
all
can
go.
shoot it. Nah, I think you've done enough.
I mean, 7 bonus dice, and
That was a really
I
twice
was the one
with
who
the
did
luck
nothing
point.
with them.
14.
Yeah.
60 is still within my range, so
Yep.
I can take a shot.
So what's the load action on your crossbow? 1?
It's 1. So
Okay.
first action, load. Second action, aim. And then third action, fire.
Okay.
Same it's just like before.
Now its evasion has increased by 2, so let's see if you hit first, and then we'll see if how much damage.
Its evasion has increased by 2, and it's sinking into the bog. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because
And,
it gets the sudden.
and its belly is filled with a fairly large person.
It makes sense. 1, it's dark. 2, its sudden leap ability improves its evasion because that's the nature of the ability. And I was going to actually let it showcase this time, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, maybe Melissa wanted to showcase the character she made there, Aaron. So if you're gonna play those
I
type of
tried.
games-
I literally broke the rules to try to get her some bonus dice, and I mean, I did.
You got
everything I
this. You got the roll. And we got luck
Alright.
if you don't.
Well, I got. Let's see. So I need a total of. So to go at it again, I need. I need 9s.
could. And you see 1 success to hit. If you get extra successes, those count as strength towards.
Okay,
the
so I
damage.
have 2 successes, but then I have a double on my what's it called? My hero die.
Your hero dice, so that's 3
So those are gonna
successes.
be- so 2 8s, but so that's 3 total. So I have 3 total
Okay.
successes.
So what's the strength of your crossbow? Is 7?
Strength is 6.
6, so that
Yeah.
takes it up to 8, and then down to 7 because of the protection value of 1. So you're rolling 7 dice against an 8 or better, which is its current evasion.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay, so you see, and you hear your crossbow strike flesh, and you know that you've hit this. It does not make a sound, though. You don't think you've wounded it badly enough to kill it or to stop it from digesting Denza.
Okay.
I did what I could. Billy, can you get her?
Now we're back to the other toad that's currently gnawing on Frosty. It is simple. It's going to just bite down again on the leg and it's just trying to tear some flesh away for a Jotun meal. So its thorny bite is might, and its might is 9+ on 4 dice. Gets a 10, an 11, and a 12, so it gets 3 successes. So that increases the strength of the attack by 2, which would take it up to 9. However, your protection value is currently 3, right? So that takes it down to
Yes.
6.
Because logically, I have my shield here and it's on my leg, but somehow that helps.
Well, you're bashing down maybe on it, you know.
Yeah, I'm just being. But yeah. I'm pushing it away.
And so what is your toughness? Defense? 7. Okay. Crap. Did not get any successes, but I got 2 points of bad luck.
Yes.
So I'm going to spend 1.
Wait. No.
And we're going to see if we can get a little damage in here. Cause
I
a little
celebrated
trouble.
too soon.
That's better. A 10, a 12, and an 8. So 3 points of vitality.
Ouch.
What is your vitality looking at now?
I only have 4 left.
4 vitality. All right. So these frogs are doing some damage, but and that's its first action. Its second action is it's going to try to bite again. It hasn't gotten enough Jotun flesh. So it is going to try once more with its 4 dice to get 3 successes on a 9+. And it fails. So that it does no good there. Its third action is it is going to step away. So it pulls away with whatever Jotun flesh it's got in its mouth. And it takes basically a 5-foot step back. So it does not get an attack. You don't get an attack of opportunity. But you think that probably in a moment it is likely to try to flee under the circumstances. You guys are up.
That's mine. Give that back.
What is the range on the frog that's currently full?
It's 60 feet away from you.
All right, so that's just enough then. This isn't the most ideal spell, but I'm going to try it because it's the one I've got. I'm going to cast Firebolt, and I'm going to do it spending the vitality so I don't have to spend an action to pull out an item for a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
How
many actions are you going to use?
That's why I'm doing it with vitality. I'm spending all 3 actions so I can get maximum strength because it's going to be against its evasion, which is higher. So first I have to make my ranged attack using Arcane, which Occult 4, Arcane 1.
So you're going against a 10 or better?
Nothing. Can I give you another point of luck? Is there like a maximum to that?
Yeah, no, they just keep flipping and resetting. So you could definitely use a point of luck.
All right, I'm doing that.
Currently, there are 3 points of good luck and 2 points of bad luck.
Well, I paired my 1 on my hero die, so I got 2 1s, and those are my 2 successes then.
Okay.
Or 1 success, because it's the hero die pair, so it's just one
success. 1 success is all you need, though. So,
okay. So that strength 12 against its evasion. So what is?
Its evasion is currently 8. So you need.
So
8
I'm rolling 4 dice
or better. No.
Oh, I
no.
need. Okay, my bad.
So its protection value against energy attacks is 1. So you're rolling 7 dice, and you have to get 8 or better on 7 dice, as many as you can.
7 dice can do. That is 2 8s on the first throw. 1 more. Okay, there's 2 more 12s. So that's 4 successes.
Nice.
4 successes. So what's it look like as this firebolt lances out and strikes this Darkmire Leaper?
Billy is just kind of annoyed and frustrated, and he doesn't like being in water in the first place, especially because his best spell does fire damage. So he's just really acting more irritated than anything. And you see his hair kind of like singes up a little bit as if like the air around him is starting to heat up. His male pattern baldness, you can see a little bit of steam coming off the skin of his head. And he just yells out, "Gone then, skedaddle off," and throws a fireball at it.
So this ball of blazing plasma strikes this giant toad in the side, washing across the slimy amphibian skin. The heat of it boils and pops the eye that it strikes, and its dead jaw flaps open as it regurgitates its last meal in its death throes, and Denza is vomited out with everything else that was in the contents of its stomach as the first Darkmire Leaper dies in the bog.
And Denza's just like,
Oh no. I'll take my turn next, and I just wanted to point out I forgot to last turn, but Sword and Board is actually one of my deeds. So I did it in a round, which means I do actually get a pip on my Sword and Board deed.
Wonderful. And that's one of the interesting parts about this game. That's how you build the legend of your character. As you take actions within combat and sometimes outside of combat, if they match a deed that your character has as part of their archetype, you get to fill in a pip. And when you filled in 4 pips of a particular deed, you get the reward from that deed, whether it's a new talent, an increase in a scat, something like that. And once you've filled in 3 deeds on a particular level, you effectively go to the next level of deeds. And then you've got another group of deeds you could choose from as you build your legend. So thank you for pointing that out, Kipser.
Absolutely no problem. And then I'm going to use my ability Take a Breath, which is a special, so it doesn't cost me an action. And it means that I can spend a number of actions to recover the same number of points of vitality. And I may use this a number of times equal to 1+ level per day. So I'm going to use 2 of my actions you kind of see her leg with a bite mark fill with this blue blood that then freezes over and hardens as she kind of reforms part of herself from snow. Like Frosty the Snowman.
So
original story.
You recover 2 points of vitality with those 2 actions as your wounds begin to heal from the magic of your Jotun frosty blood. What do you do with your 3rd action?
And then I will use one of the points of vitality that I just regained to do an offensive action called Shield Barge, which I was trying to use for the Heimlich maneuver earlier. But I'm going after the guy that took a part of me because that's mine. So I am going to Shield Barge the frog that is running away.
All right, I like it.
And I can just kind of move through its enemy space. And it gives me a little bit of extra, movement. But I'm going to still roll 5 dice for my training to try to hit him. Sorry, it was 8 still, right?
No, it's whatever your prowess number is in training. That's what you're rolling against to see if you.
Oh, right. So 10.
Okay, so 10 or better on 5 dice, and then we will see what kind of damage you do.
All right. So I've got 2 successes on my 5 dice.
Perfect. So that's 1 more than you needed. So what is the strength of your shield bash?
So my shield bash is still it actually, let me just double check on page 41 of the book. I think it still uses my sword. One spend vitality. I think it's a movement thing. Also, because it's an offensive type, I get to do 1 more pip on one of my deeds, which was partly my goal there.
Okay.
For leveling up, but it's still the sword, so it's still 7 strength.
Okay, so +1 because you got 1 extra success is 8 minus 1 because against piercing or slashing it has 1 point of protection. So 7 dice, and what you're looking for is 9 or better.
9 or better. Here we go. That did not roll well. So that is 1 success. Actually, sorry, that's 2 successes. How many luck points do we get?
You have 3 points of good luck at the moment, and I have 2 points of bad luck. So feel free to give me a 3rd point of bad luck if you want. There's always, so in the pool, there's always a number of luck points equal to the number of players +1, and they just flip back and forth as you use them. So there's always a total of, for us, 5 points of luck. Whether they're good or bad just depends on how they're being spent.
No, I think Melissa's going to need those more. I will just keep with the 2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes.
Sorry.
You've been rolling so poorly.
You need all the luck.
So you bash into this and you rock its body. Your blade comes in. It's still, it moves now. It pivots back towards you, aggressively irritated by your actions. And it looks still pretty healthy under the circumstances. So that's everybody's gone except for Denza, who has been vomited out of the gullet of a giant frog 60 feet away into the bog.
I will use one more vitality to sword and board defense up with my shield without an action. Thank you.
Okay. So what would you like to do, Dinza? You could see the others barely through the deepening, darkening afternoon and the rain, through the bog. You don't think it can't be that deep. You don't think because of how the frog jumped out here, but there may be deeper pools somewhere in the middle.
So if my speed is 15 and I can in one action move up to my speed, would I be able to be close enough to do something in 2 actions?
You could do something at range, but remember, this is also difficult terrain, so your speed is halved. So with 2 actions, you could make it 15. With 3 actions, you could make it 20, basically.
Okay, so then I've got a short bow.
Okay.
Which has a range of 80.
Oh, yeah, you could definitely make it with your short bow.
Okay.
You don't even need to move.
Okay. So I've got 3 guile and no observe.
And you can do what Sunny did, which is spend 1 action to aim, which gives you +1 die.
Oh, right, because since I don't have to move, yeah, I had skipped over that because I thought I needed to move first. So yes, I will do as Sunny did, and I will aim.
So it was 1 action to equip your bow, 2nd action to aim, 3rd action to fire.
Yep. Okay, so then I get an additional dice. No, 4, target number of 11. And I just need 1 to hit, right?
That is correct.
All right, got 111.
Okay, and what is the strength of your short bow?
Go back to... Oh, I have it written down here. My short bow is 5 strength.
Okay, so you're going to roll 5 against its piercing. So actually, it would be 5. It's down to 4 because it's got 1 protection value against piercing. So you roll 4 dice, and you want to get a 6 or better.
Okay, that is 2 successes. I got an 8 and an 11.
Wonderful. So you guys, out of the darkness, you see this arrow fly through, comes right between the Jotun's legs, slams into the side of this giant toad's head, and rocks it. You have reduced its vitality to 0, so its evasion, its guile is going to drop, and its evasion is going to drop as it has been stunned by the attack. Taking us back around to the top of the order, and that's back to the frog, or the toad, the dead toad. So since the dead toad is, well, dead, one of you gets to go.
You guys care if I just do a little bit more stabby? Great.
I think I'll cast a spell from a distance and kill it before she can.
No kill stealing. I'm stabbing it now. I'm going to quickly stab it, seeing the fire start to ignite. That is a 10 and 11, and the rest don't care, so 2 successes on my 5 dice.
And so its protection value is 1, so that takes it down to 6. You got 1 extra, so that takes it back up to 7 with your sword.
Cool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Let's do this.
And once again, you're trying to get 9 or better.
That is... Ooh. Okay, this time... That's only 2 successes. This time I am going to use one of the luck points and re-roll all the dice.
All right.
Just going to go for a little bit better than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 4 successes.
All right, 4. So you're slicing into this thing. In fact, you slice so deep that you cut off one of its forearms, and blood spurts everywhere, and it lets out this horrible croaking noise. But it is still up. You still have 2 actions.
I'm going to I guess I will do the same thing again. I will try to hit it. That dice is banished. This one is in. There we go.
So you get 3 successes.
Oh, that is 1 success.
Okay.
On a 112.
Okay. You have 1 action left.
I will do it again. Just going to keep hacking at this thing.
Question.
5 successes now to hit it.
Okay, never mind.
That is no. That will not be any 6. Oh, that's 1 success, so that's not 5.
Okay.
All right.
So
Let's Steve
Frosty is just fire. Well, it's the frog's turn now.
Uh-oh.
And what the frog is going to do is you're too big to swallow whole, but you have been trying to kill it, so it is going to bite at you, which I think is reasonable under the circumstances. It has 4 vigor, and its might is 9 or plus, 9 or better. I got 4 successes, so that's 3 extra. What is your protection value? 2, correct?
Currently, it's 2. I did not sword and board.
So that's 3 extra. The strength of its bite is 7, so it's 10 dice against your, what is your toughness defense?
7.
Okay. So 7 plus on 10 dice. I'll have to roll one of these again. Because I didn't bring enough dice. I was warned that you might need 10 or more dice by a friend over on Garblag, but I failed to get out enough. All right, that's a 12, 7, 8, 12, 9. And I'll re-roll 1 and get a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 points of damage. Now, your vitality, what's your vitality? 4. Okay, so you go down to 0 vitality.
Yes.
It does not go into your wounds, but you go down to 0 vitality, and now you get to decide whether or not you are stunned or weakened. If you're stunned, your guile and evasion go down by 2. If you're weakened, your vigor and toughness go down by 2. What would you like to choose?
With guile, I only have 2, so it would bring it down to a 0. Is there more? That's not good, right? That would be death.
No, that's not death. It just means you're basically, I mean, you would have 0 dice to roll if a guile roll came up until you recovered vitality.
I will take down my guile and sorry, what was the second one?
The second one is guile and evasion go down by 2.
Guile and evasion. All right.
So we see Frosty rocked by the attack of this giant frog. Its first bite attack at Frosty. Almost her head is reeling from it. And it's gonna try to bite her again. Not a lot of luck for that. He's got to get 3 successes on 4 dice. Might 9 plus. I get an 11, 11, and a 9. Shit you not. That's more than enough successes. One of the 11s is on the hero dice, so that's 4 successes. Against, you've got 1 protection, so that takes it down to 3, 10, 9 dice.
The armor does give me 2 protection.
2 protection, 8 dice. And remind us all what your toughness was. 7?
7.
Oh, this isn't as good of a roll. Just 2. You take 2 wounds.
Okay.
As this frog bites down again on you. Now, it lets go and is going to take its full move action to try to hop away. So you do get an opportunity. You can use your reaction to attack it if you would like.
I would like that. Also, Sunny is on my shoulder, so technically in range. Arguably.
I now have a melee weapon, and you're 20 feet tall, so I still think I can reach.
Technically only 8 feet tall, but
yeah,
Okay.
I asked her in chat. I'm like, "You're not 80 feet tall, are you?" Because then I'd be out of range for this attack.
So I googled like average Jushin height, and they're like somewhere between this much and 100. I'm like,
I feel
20.
I feel like Yoda when Luke is kind of going crazy. I'm like,
pretty much. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So you are rolling your strength +1, but it's got a protection value of 1. So just the strength value of your sword against its toughness of 9+.
That is 1 success. I'm going to use a luck point and reroll that.
I like it. We're down to 1 point of good luck, 4
Sorry.
points of bad luck.
Wow. 0 successes.
Okay.
Oh no.
So you go to swing at this toad, and it just moves a little faster than you're anticipating, and your sword
We're all
goes down
going to
into the
Dice
bog. Down into the bog, but you still have a hold of it. So the toad starts to move off. The rest of you can take an action.
I'm gonna shoot.
I like it.
Billy.
I was going to tell you to because I don't want to spend the vitality.
Our team's gonna win.
okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna do same thing I did before, same combo. So equip or load. So I'm loading up my such and such. Then I am going to aim to get an extra die. Then I'm gonna fire. So this puts me at again 5 dice, needing 9s, and here we go.
I like it.
Let's see. I have. What is that? I have 2 9s.
All right.
Yeah, I have 2, and one of them is my lolly die. So that's the heroic die. Does that do anything?
Yep. So that's 3
okay.
successes.
All right, so 3 successes then.
You only needed 1, so that's +2 on the strength of your weapon. It has protection 1 against piercing, so take 1 dice away. So it's 1 bonus die.
So I'm at 7 again. So
Okay.
I should be at 7.
You're 7.
+2 would have put me up to 8. Down to 7. Yep. Okay.
Now its evasion, because it's stunned, has dropped down to 4.
Okay. So I need
4s are better.
All right. I rolled only 1 die under 4.
Nice.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes.
Describe your kill.
So as Frosty is swinging at it, Sonny is just saying,
It's okay. You can let it go. Calm down. I'll get it. No, no, stay.
As did I.
and just shoots really fast.
See, you didn't have to exert yourself so much. I had it handled. You gotta trust me. If we're gonna be a team, you gotta trust me.
And with the frog, like the threat out of the way, the adrenaline dies. The Jotun probably falls down.
And the whole time, by the way, my mouth was right up against your ear when I was saying that.
I can hear you.
So Frosty takes a knee. Sonny kills the last of the Dark Mire Leaper, but Denza is still 60 feet out in the bog. What do you do?
Denza assumes that she can figure out where this thing went, and so then she's going back in that direction. So she's gonna spend all 3 of her actions. So
give me a
probably about
survival check. Give me a survival check.
All right, that's not bad. I've got 6. No, sorry, 3 minus 3. That's how that works. All right, rolling 3, looking for an 8. I got 112.
Okay. So as you're making your way back towards the rest of your party, you do find a couple of areas of deep water, and worse, you find an area of a sucking bog that you know if you had tripped into would have probably pulled you down long before anybody could have gotten to you. But you're able to navigate your way around that. It takes you a few minutes to painstakingly find the path back to them. But exhausted, covered in bile and toad blood and stomach acid, you're able to make your way out of the noxious bog and find your way back to the slightly flooded path where you see Frosty has taken a knee, a little beat up and exhausted herself. Sunny and Billy are there, but the two Darkmire Leapers are dead. What would you guys like to do? You're in the middle of the bog. You think you can see the moat house in the distance, but it's been a kind of a rough row. Now, the way you recover vitality is you recover a point of vitality for basically every 30 minutes that you rest. I think it's every 30 minutes. Let me double check. Yeah, every 30 minutes you rest, you recover 1 point of vitality. So you guys can take a rest of some sort here in the bog, but there are two bleeding corpses near you, so you're assuming there may be other predators in the bog. But as the game master, I'm completely okay if you decide to camp here.
I imagine that.
Are you okay, Billy? I'm good to go.
No, I'm good. I have a problem with you, Sonny. I want to change teams. You stuck me with Denza, and I'm not going to be with her anymore.
Did you? She just bursted out of the belly.
I was here. I'm back.
Oh,
welcome back.
Go, Frosty,
glad you didn't die.
Research yourself. Take a breather. No. We know how difficult it is for you to speak. Are you okay, Tinza?
That was quite unpleasant.
You smell just terrible.
It's normally there would be a river or something to wash in, and that water's worse than the acid that I was just in.
Is it raining still?
Yes.
It is raining still, so the
just
rain will wash it
wide. There you go.
Oh, yes, I suppose. Frosty, do you need a little bit of attending to?
Yes, I hurt.
It's okay. You did a good job.
Do you have a wound?
Climbs back on top of your shoulders after you
technically, my leg got pretty mangled. I froze with take a breath, but it's probably primarily on my leg still.
Did you take any actual wounds?
Oh, wounds, two. Sorry, yes, 2 wounds.
An actual wound. Okay.
Yes.
So I have an herbal salve. So you'll see Denza kind of open up her backpack, and then you see her kind of get some things together, and she's going to attend to that. This I thought the acid was smelly, but if we don't get to this wound, you might lose the leg, and that's a really long leg to lose. I don't think you want to lose that.
Regrowing takes a long time.
Billy is just being completely petty right now, pulling on Sonny's leg, trying to get him off Frosty, and saying, "You're going with Denza."
No, stop it! They're trying to heal her. Calm down. Now it's your reason she got swallowed in the first place.
She dropped me the first chance she got.
You should have held on tighter. You didn't see me falling on Frosty.
You both.
You're 20 feet up.
What?
Hey,
no, we're switching. We're switching.
No.
My hair.
Oh, Frosty.
No, he's got it around your face.
My eyes.
Your nose.
Yeah.
My
it's
nose.
2 little gnome fists up the nostrils of your nose, holding on.
Gonna crawl up inside
my nose hair.
I
appreciate you, Denza.
You are the one that they all sing songs about. I prefer to be in the shadows anyway.
So what does the healing salve do for her?
So outside of combat, it recovers 1 wound.
Okay. So that's a consumable. You use your healing salve, and Frosty recovers 1 wound. In addition, if we had a character with medical tools, you could perform a successful medicine check that would heal 1 wound as well. Normal healing, a character heals 1 wound for every 8 hours of rest. So the healing process mechanic in this game for wounds it's a slow process. So you could be walking around wounded for quite a while, which is why vitality management becomes really important when you're using talents and abilities that use vitality.
Am I allowed to take a breath outside of combat where I would spend essentially 3 actions to get 3 vitality back?
Yeah, because you can do it twice a day at level 1. So this would be your second time. Yes, you absolutely can.
I would like to do that. And then we should move on.
Yes, so out of character, just because we're kind of bringing these things up. So one of the first level deeds for a Wild Walker is Strider in training, survive 4 battles against multiple enemies.
Okay, so
it was very close, but I did survive.
You did survive
a battle with multiple enemies.
Me too. I have hero in training as well.
Okay. Did anybody else have
in training?
Okay.
I also got Arcane Understanding, where I can cast a spell without consuming a runic item.
Okay. So you guys got 1 pips in all of those. So your legend is building, even with our first encounter. And I just love the dynamic of that, how fluid it is, depending on how you want to focus, how your character operates in and out of combat, really will kind of drive the kinds of deeds that you're completing. So you continue your march as the rain continues to pelt down. The ruined moat house, the small hillock that it's on, gets closer and closer. Are we continuing with the same observers and same scout scenario?
Does Denza let Billy back on her shoulders?
Come on, uppies.
You're like a dwarf. You're not a gnome. You're you've had a little bit of height.
I have the important question.
Denza has 1 vitality right now, so she's she's not in good shape right now, and she just sort of looks at you like.
I mean, Billy's almost Billy's got to be. He's close to 5 feet tall and about 200 pounds, and you want to ride a Saurian who's 5.5 feet tall and about 180 pounds.
Billy's getting very fed up with the party dynamic here. This is not working out in his favor.
Okay.
Well, if I hopped off of this, I would drown in the water. So I gotta stay. It's just survival. Sorry.
I appreciate you, Sonny.
It's definitely
to be in
not
better
comfort.
health. So, deal.
As you approach the hillock, the water begins to recede as the land begins to raise and the bog waters flow away. The ground is still squishy. It's still a bog, but it's no longer deep water. And the path up to the old deserted moat house is clear. There are no lights visible from the broken down walls surrounding this moat house. But the drawbridge is down over the moat, which still does surround the moat house and is itself filled with water. You can see past the drawbridge into the darkened barbican that separates the entrance to the keep into the bailey.
Denza will do as she does. She's always going to kind of do as much of a perimeter as she possibly can.
So you're going to walk around the entire...
Yep.
Okay. I'm assuming on this side of the moat?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone else going?
Yeah. Okay. I should stick together. Sonny is looking up top.
Good.
Keep an eye out because he's closest to it, so he's looking at the ramparts.
Follow Denza.
So do you move off to the east or to the west?
Let's start east.
Okay. As you're going east around the moat, it begins to get wider and deeper the further east you go. And as you get to the far east corner, southeast corner of the old moat house. The tower there has been destroyed, and it's just a basic wall of rubble. But as you get close to that area of the moat, you hear deep croaking noises, perhaps 4 or 5 in answering calls from within the moat and out in the bog.
How wide is the moat?
The moat at this point is about 25 feet wide. It was at its most narrow at the drawbridge where it was 10 feet wide, but for the majority of what you can see around the moat house, it's between 25 and 40 feet wide.
And is like the water level of the moat like lower than like the boggish land around it? Or does it just kind of blend in?
It just sort of blends in at this point.
So Denza's going to kind of move over toward the rest. Maybe we just take the bridge. Usually I prefer to be for a little more armed, but maybe expediency. And
I've got an idea.
I also have an idea.
All right, go on.
Here?
I can release spores,
not here.
which will
Tell us
make
about the spores.
it harder for others to observe us or hit us with anything ranged. So it's basically a 3x3 area that's adjacent to me. So basically I kind of do my wild shift. And so I've kind of imagined that she kind of has scales that either kind of like all come up together is for the scale kind of a toughness thing, or they sort of like burst open and release the spores. And so then basically it sort of would make this kind of little spore cloud that we could all kind of walk in.
Cool. And what is the cost for using your adaptation? Is it 1 wound for the 24 hours?
So it is, in order to trigger any adaptation, it's a wound for 24 hours. Spore specifically then is the spending 2 vitality.
Okay.
And that lasts 5+ level rounds. So 6.
6 rounds. Okay, so you've got this 15-foot, basically fog of spores around the 4 of you as you're moving back towards the drawbridge.
Hold on, though. I think we can combine the 2 plans here.
By all means.
So,
what is your plan?
If the lassie wants to do the spores, that's fine. I do not care if I want to walk in a cloud of spores, but it'll be fine. I am going to summon a barrier. I'm losing my accent horribly here. Sorry. I'm spending 2. No, I'm using one of my scrolls.
You should say
I didn't take a scroll.
That'll get you there.
Lassie. How would William Wallace say it? I'm going to summon a barrier. And I draw glowing runes in the air and summon a ghostly blue 10-foot wide barrier that blocks movement and attacks, but not line of sight or airflow. And I'd like to create a bridge into that opening over the moat that we can just walk across with this barrier.
You can walk across the moat, but there's no opening in the wall to.
I thought the wall collapsed.
The tower had collapsed into a wall of rubble, so it's.
There's no way in through that rubble.
You could try to scale the rubble if you want, and go over the wall.
What do you guys think? Do you want to just go in the front door, or do you want me to make a bridge?
I mean, I got rope. We can try to climb the wall, or, use it as like a guiding line or something if we go over.
I'm trying to use my spell in a cool way, though.
I mean, you're casting spells. That's just cool. You don't have to.
All right, so we're going through the front door. It's fine.
I literally just.
We got a cloud of spores, but we can't go over a magic bridge. It's okay. I'm not sad. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm not going to be petty.
I need you to bring it down. There's like a family of toads nearby, and they're going to eat all of us. So you're at like a
dark,
7.
so
light
a torch.
Spores, they can't see us, but they can still hear us.
The dark and spores, so we want a torch?
Maybe we wait until we get across and can peek inside. Because, if we light a torch, we might see better. But they can see us too if there's anyone inside.
Okay.
We got a creep, you know.
No.
I'm sorry. Whenever I get this,
Sorry,
voice,
Aaron.
I just have to do that. I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
So we rested long enough for me to get up to 3 vitality so that I can spend the 2 vitality to release the spores and go back down to 1 vitality.
I love
I'll
it.
take an extra 3 vitality.
So
So 2. So 2 vitality.
Always giving everyone the silent treatment.
as Billy pouts, you return
Darn.
to the drawbridge.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we
Um,
cross, though, if it's all right, I would like to take a peek at it. Sonic
that's wonderful.
Kaboom.
Yeah, let's everyone use all their abilities except Billy. You know, let's get some spores. Let's get some, spyglass.
Billy, shh. I seriously think frogs are going to come kill us if you don't shut the F up. You know, so just saying, I love you, buddy, but just be quiet.
So, Sonny just wants to, as best he can, just assess it. Like, is this a viable thing we can cross? He's, he's a tinkerer. He knows machinery. So would this be like a craft or an operate? Like, can he roll something like that?
Yeah, give me an operate. Difficulty 2 check.
All right. So I got 4 training, and I've got 2 in operate. So it's basically my crossbow, essentially. So I need 2 9s or higher.
That is correct.
I got exactly 2 9s. Like literally 2
Fantastic.
9s.
So as you're looking over the drawbridge, it looks decrepit, but you can tell it's been reinforced recently. But more importantly, you can see that somebody in the middle of the drawbridge has laid down a false boards. And you can tell based on the way they're leveled and laid, and with your background as a dark delver, that those are basically paper thin, and that more than likely there is a spike trap that's been laid beneath them.
Okay, whispering very carefully into Frosty's wonderful freezing ear and telling her everything that I just observed. If we go across this way, don't step right there because then it's a spot trap and everything. I think we're probably being okay. It looks reinforced, but just don't step on that spot. Just don't tell Billy, though. Let Billy step. I'm just kidding. No, Billy, you don't want to step on that spot either.
Understood.
Or you, Denzel. Or you. No one step on that spot.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cast Summon Barrier over the drawbridge.
You're playing yourself.
So that we physically cannot step on the spot.
I love it. So what's it look like when you summon this barrier? You were describing it before, but tell us now.
I am pouting, and then I have to pull out my stone runes to actually cast the spell because I don't have a scroll or anything. So I'm just going through my spell book essentially. And I am maintaining just fierce eye contact with Sunny as I cast the spell out loud as I can, like speak without shouting.
I like it. And this.
Oh, you were asking about
barrier,
magic. I was just trying to show how petty I am.
No, I like the pettiness too. And so this barrier flows across the down to drawbridge, using one of Billy's scrolls, I assume.
No, I had to spend the vitality.
Oh, you spent the vitality?
Did we all gain the vitality then?
Yeah, you would have each
wrestled?
gotten 3 vitality.
Yeah, because it was
back.
just a time. It was a time spend.
Yep. So the barrier goes down, and you're able to easily walk across the drawbridge. And there's a large opening here. You can tell there used to be a set of double doors leading into the Barbican, but they've rotted away or been torn down. All you see within is darkness. But you assume the Barbican can't be more than 20 feet wide before it leads out into the Bailey.
If you want, I can sneak ahead and see if I can see anything first, and then I can scuttle back and let you know. Unless Billy wants to cast Fireball inside and make it all easy to see. I don't think he does.
Green,
sounds
if
like a good plan.
anything happens.
Oh, I like it when she lifts me.
So yeah, can Sonny try to sneak carefully up ahead? And like see if he can sort things out, being very careful where he puts his feet and all that kind of stuff. So stealth in, see if he can get like some more info.
Absolutely.
Is this Shadow?
Yep.
Okay. So I have a 5 in Guile, and 1 in Shadow. So I need 10. So I got 5 dice and I need 10s. And let's see this. Yeah, I don't got anything that helps with this. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got 2 successes. I got a 12 on my lolly die, which is my hero die, and a 10. So 2 successes.
So, you guys just see Sonny sort of disappear into the darkness. You don't hear a sound. You don't see him. Shades of Zamir might come to your mind as
Just as attractive.
Sonny disappears into the blackened depths of the Barbican. Sonny, we're going to do an opposed roll here. Give me your observation roll.
Okay.
Against somebody else's roll.
The good news is I've got 5 guile. The bad news, I've got no observe. So it's just 5 dice needing an 11. Hey, I got 2. No, yeah, I got 2. I got a 12 and an 11. There we go.
Wonderful.
Nice.
I got 3 on my roll.
That's more.
That's more, just by 1, but it matters. As something moves above you. Let's go into initiative.
Frosty!
Sonny, you can roll either observe or tactics against this creature that has got the drop on you.
I'll do observe again because I have more dice. I do have actually a point in tactics, but I only have 2 points in education. I'm not particularly well educated, so let's give it a go.
Say this. I've got 4 successes.
I got 2.
Okay.
Just 2.
So what happens? You hear something rustling above you. Yeah, it's horrible. And then this blast of webbing comes down to web at you. So we're gonna do a ranged attack.
Oh no!
Observe against 10. I didn't get any successes, but I do have 4 points of bad luck. So I'm going to spend one of those.
Thanks, guys. That's great. So glad.
Okay, I got 2 successes on that. If successful, the target suffers a strength 8 restraining attack versus evasion. I got a +1, so that's 9 dice. What is your evasion check?
9.
Good. Oh, that's a terrible roll. I will spend another point of bad luck because I rolled 9 dice and got no successes. Let's
now we've got like 3 back to us.
We
You
all
do. That's better. That's better. I got an 11 on my hero die and another 11 plus 3 9, so that's 5.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So you have the restrained 5 condition.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can get out of being restrained on your turn by the same things that Denza had to do, or somebody can help you with either might or prowess. So with its first action and 1 vitality cost to do it, the death silk spider in webs our young gnome friend. I'm going to convert. No, I'm going to leave it. We're not going to make you blind too. We're just going to make you in restrained. With its second action, it is going to drop down onto you and try to bite you with its venomous fangs. This is its second action, though, so it's got to get 3 successes on this. So it makes a bite attack. That's its might. So that's 5 vigor dice against a 9 or better. But he's got to get 3 successes. I got a 12 and an 11 and a 1. So I'm going to spend my no, I've got 2 points of bad luck left. I'm going to spend 1 more point of bad luck and just see if we can get this attack off.
I just want to point out, Aaron just spent 3 points of bad luck on this turn.
I got it, but it failed. It failed.
Okay.
Regardless. So this thing on the second attack comes down. You see these giant dripping fangs. From what you can finally see is this spider. It's 8 eyes staring at you, but you're still able to move enough to get out of the way of its fangs. And seeing that its attack failed, with its third and final action, it is going to place a nest of webbing around the area to make it difficult terrain for anybody who's going to move into it. Needs to make a craft roll.
It moved and it attacked, right?
Oh, that's a good point. It moved. Yeah. Yep. So that's all 3 of its actions.
Okay, Sonny is immediately gonna go and he's gonna
and just smack himself where his belt is, and then a second Sonny will appear right next to Billy, Denza, Frosty, etc. As I'm going to use the active of my provisional bilocator to until the beginning of my next turn. I'm present in 2 locations.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's 1. It's going to cost 2 vitality. Second action, readying my, equipping my my crossbow, and third action, spider! And I'm just going to fire back.
I love
in
it.
the direction
I love
where it was.
I love that relic. It's got it's so much fun. Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right, so with the attacks. So one thing I was a little unclear about the attacks. Is it your second attack that gets the extra?
Yeah,
it's not the extra actions, right?
It's not the extra action. It's a second attack action. So like on the spider, the web blast is an attack action, and then the bite was a second attack action. That's why it had to be. That's why I increased the difficulty.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to use my training. I'm not aiming because I don't have enough actions. So I'm just going to use 4 dice. I do have operate, 2 levels of operate. So I'm looking for 9s. And I got a 12 and a 10, so that's 2 successes.
Wonderful.
Then I will roll 6 plus an extra die for the extra success, so that's 7.
Minus 2 for its protection value is 2 versus piercing, so it's hard chitinous body, so it reduces your strength by 2.
Okay, so it's going to take me down to 5. So I'm rolling 5 dice for damage, and what am I targeting?
10. Oh, evasion. Sorry, 8 plus.
Evasion. 8. Okay.
All right. Okay. That's 4. I got 4. I got a 9. I got a 10. I got 11, and I got a 12.
Nice.
That's straight.
Nice. So you take a hard shot deep into the spider's body, and it recoils, but doesn't look hurt bad enough to really dissuade it from its meal, but it definitely is.
Don't hurt the other me. Don't hurt the other me.
As there is a second Sonny that's still beneath the spider. Is the spider still on top of it? That's my turn.
All right, the other 3 of you now see, still in darkness, but you see Sonny pop next to you, fire a crossbow bolt, a giant form moving in and around a cocooned body.
Do we go real quick because I'm not actually going to do an attack?
Sure.
I am just going to prepare for the next round. I'm going to draw 2 of my scrolls. Both of them are firebolt. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to spend my third action to take cover around like a door or rubble or anything nearby.
Perfect.
Oh no, there's a spider in that corner.
Giant spider.
Yeah.
Death silk spider. Size of a VW bug.
Do we have enough movement to get to that form, or is it going to take like two movement actions?
Just one movement action. You can get there.
Okay. Then I'm going to move into close combat, even though it's difficult terrain.
Yes. Yeah, okay. You're fine. You've got enough movement for it.
All right.
And actually, it's actually not difficult terrain because, as Jeff pointed out, I had used all 3 of my actions before the death silk nest.
Stay away from Sunny. So Frosty's going to move into close combat. She is going to then take a strike with her sword. So what do I need to? I still need to do how many? Just one success for this?
One success.
Okay. That is one success.
All right. So your blade is going to come down true against its chitinous hide. You need to roll the strength of your sword, which is 7, minus its protection value against slashing, which is 2. So you get 5 strength dice, and you need a 10s or better against its toughness.
So I'm just switching out some of these dice. I think this one rolls better. Okay. Ooh, yes. Okay. Of my 5 dice, I've rolled 4 of them, 10 and above.
Nice.
And nothing doubles with my special dice. Okay, I just had to double check.
All right. So you strike down hard against this thing's chitinous hide, and it starts to crack, and you see some things oozing. But once again, this is a giant spider, and it's pretty tough. It doesn't seem to have slowed it down too much. That's 2 of your 3 actions. What would you like to do with your 3rd action?
I would like to raise my shield.
Not that's pretty smart. All right, Denza, you were the last person to act. What would you like to do?
So Denza is going to equip her short
Oh, that's true. I would have had to equip my sword. Sorry, that would have been an action, which
Okay.
means I'll use a vitality to do sword and board.
Okay. All right. I like it. Thanks for keeping me honest.
So I am going to equip. Actually, before I equip, I'm going to swallow a tincture for 1 action so that I have more than 1 vitality. So that gives me 2 vitality, instantaneous. Then I'm going to equip. Then I'm going to shoot. So I'll have to skip the aiming this time. So that's going to be 3 dice that I'm rolling, and they all need to be 11 or higher. And let's see, I miss.
You got 4 points of luck. You could spend 1 if you want.
I guess I will. I think we're nearing the end of time for the night.
Yep.
Not sure it's particularly wise because I'm aiming for like 11 and 12. So statistically, I'm not sure that. Yeah, no.
Okay. So you fire off into the darkness, but you're unable to connect with the spider, bringing it back to its turn. And this giant death silk spider rears up, and its 4 front legs and mandibles flex out, and it lets out this horrible rearing screech. And all non-arachnids, which is everybody here, within 30 feet, suffer a strength 7 frightening attack against their defiance. So, what is your defiance score?
9.
Damn.
Sorry, is that everybody?
8.
Everybody. Yep.
Oh, everybody. 8 for me.
11.
11.
Okay, so I'm the chicken shit. Okay, I'll get it.
I've got super low evasion, though. I've only have 6 for evasion.
So
I have 4
Billy,
evasion.
you're unaffected by this at all. It doesn't even phase Billy. Frosty, what would you say yours was?
8.
8. Okay. 2. So you take you have 2 of the frightened condition. And what does frightened mean? While you're frightened, you have a 1 dice penalty to all actions, and your defiance is reduced by 2. So you've got until you recover from being frightened, which is either composure or tactics. You've got 2 of those. You've got that. And Sonny, you said yours was
6. But my mother was an arachnid, though. I'm not sure if I had that in my backstory.
That's interesting. Yours is still also only 2, though.
Okay.
You have 2 frightened conditions, and Denze, yours was
9.
9. I got 2 9s. Those were 2 high die. So you also have 2 frightened conditions. But that was a 2 action and cost 2 vitality for it to do. So it's looking. You think it did it out of fear. It was not expecting to get attacked so fiercely. It was hoping for just a gnome-sized snack. But with its 1 remaining action, it will.
I do want to point out, because I want to be fair, I do have my other person is there, and you can still attack it just like normal. So.
Oh yeah. That is what he is. What this spider is going to do is he's going to bite down. Not an inject venom into you, because I'm not going to use the venomous attack. I'm just going to use the bite attack, and that is a might attack. So that's 5 vigor dice. 10, 12, 9, 8, 4 successes against its might. So that adds 3 to the damage. The bite is 9, so that's 12 dice. What is your protection value against piercing? Okay, so
1.
11.
You have
dice.
protection.
And what's
That's
your toughness?
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 7 points of damage as these spiderous fangs dig through the cocoon that your original body was in and begins to, try to rip parts of your body away to liquefy later.
Good news, bad news situation. Bad news, down to 0 vitality on the dot. So that's not good.
So I got to do the thing where I'm either stunned or weakened.
Yep. Yeah. So weakened basically reduces your vigor and toughness, and stunned reduces your guile and evasion.
I will do weakened. I don't want to reduce my guile.
So those are both reduced by 2.
And then
until you get a point of vitality back.
Right. And so then I'm going to say start of my turn. The one that you just attacked, that they're like a chew toy with a dog, just poof disappears. As I'm going to choose the other one to be where smart. I'm at, and so I'm just gonna whisper over to Billy,
you ever just see her eyes flash like in life? It's just it's horrific. Anyhow,
and that's not an action. That just does. It just happens, and then I'll load, aim, and I'll fire into the darkness.
I like it.
So I have I'm frightened 2. So does that affect that? So that's minus 2.
Minus 1 die, unless you reduce that frightened condition.
Okay. Oh no, he's terrified right now. So I'm just gonna let it go. So I would have gotten up. So basically, it cancels out with aim, I think.
Basically,
okay.
Yep.
All right. So here we go. That is going to be 3 successes because I have a match with an 11 with my hero die. So that's going to be 3 successes.
So that's plus 2 dice.
4 successes. I actually have a 9 too, and I forgot that I'm rolling training. So it's I have 2 in operate. So that's 4 successes.
Nice. So that's 3 additional successes. Its protection value against piercing is 2, so it's plus 2 strength dice net against its evasion of 8.
All right, so if it's plus 2, that means I'm rolling 8. And I need 8s. That went nowhere close to the box. 1, 2, 3. That's a 6. So 3. I got 3 successes.
Okay, so the bolt fires into it. It pierces through its chitinous body and digs deep into the ichor within it, reducing its vitality to 0. I think that it makes sense for it to be weakened, so its vigor and toughness are going to be reduced by 2.
Okay, and I'm also really dumb. I should have used elusive action. I totally forgot that I had it, but that's fine. as I was the victim of the attack. My bad. Next time.
All right. So who's next?
Anyone?
Isn't it?
Spider's already gone, so it's
I mean, I'll
any one of-
shoot it if
Go
I'll
for it.
slash at it.
I want to go last because my stuff costs resources, so I'd rather save them if I can.
Okay.
I
I'll
think
shoot
Stephen
at
needs to go next for some reason. Suddenly.
All right, I cast Fireball on Frosty. Let's see your melt.
No.
No, that's
Ouch.
summer sun.
So I have a question with if I'm frightened 2, does that mean it's a 2 dice penalty?
Nope, it's just 1 dice penalty, but
Okay.
you have 2.
It takes 2 rounds to get out.
Well, yeah, it takes 2 successes to reduce it to 0, which would take the penalty away.
Okay, and so I could spend 1 action to try to get.
Yes.
It doesn't matter though, because I would still then only be down to 1, and I'm still going to have a penalty. So I might as well just YOLO. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to aim.
Which takes away the
Then
reduction.
yeah. So then I can just roll straight 3.
Yep.
No.
Okay. You got luck.
Then I will. I have confidence in the rest of my team, so
Okay.
I'm just going to spend my 3rd action. Oh, sorry. I would have needed to reload, then aim,
Are you
then
using a
shoot,
bow or a
and miss.
crossbow?
It is a short. Oh,
I don't know.
it has
if
the
short
load.
bow-
It has the
Oh, it
load.
does?
It's,
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2-handed and
Load
load 1.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you
Okay.
loaded, you aimed, you fired,
Shoot
you
off into
missed.
space again.
Arrow goes off into the barbican. Who is next?
I will slash at it. I
Okay,
won't
so
make Stephen use
Frosty
his
moves
resources.
into the dark to slice out at the spider.
I do. I have rolled no successes. So I am going. We're full luck again.
I gave you so much luck.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys have 3 points of good luck at the moment. So spend away.
I will. Good luck next time, Jeff. There we go. 2 successes.
Wonderful.
There
So
you
it's
go.
1 more than you needed. So its protection value against slashing is 2.
Oh,
So your strength -1 at the moment.
sorry. I also got my special dice matches my other one that was a success. I got 2 11s, and my special dice was one of them. So that is
Okay.
actually 3.
3 successes. Okay. So then you got 2 more than you needed, which offsets the protection value. So it's just your straight 7 strength for your long sword.
Love it.
And you're going against its toughness, which has been reduced by 2 because it is weakened. So now it's 8 or better.
8 or better. Here we go. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so your blade bites deep. You half sever one of its 8 legs. You have 2 actions left.
I think I'll do one more slash. I know it's 3 successes on the second one, right?
That is correct.
I'm gonna go one more time. See if I can get some successes here. Cannot. And then I will use my last action to raise my shield again.
Wonderful. And so that leaves us with Black Lotus. Billy.
All right. I do play Skyrim style, so I try to hoard everything until I absolutely need to use it, but it appears that the need has arisen. I will
Rotates
cast
just right in the corner so that you glitch through and then glitch back and never take any damage.
I will cast Firebolt. I'll cast it from one of the scrolls I pulled out, and I will spend all 3 actions to cast it. So I'm doing Arcane, which Occult 4, Arcane 1. So I'm looking for 10s on 4 dice.
Now, you said you're doing it from a scroll? From the
scroll, yes.
I think the scroll can only be cast as a 1 action. It doesn't cost any vitality, but I think it can only be cast as a 1 action. Yep.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm double checking, but I believe that is correct.
Yeah, you're right. If they were the 1 action version of the spell.
Okay.
But I got a success. So that's going to be strength 7, Len, for the one action versus evasion.
Evasion is 8.
Right.
It does have a 1 defense, though, against energy damage. So
I'm rolling 6 dice looking for 8 or higher, right?
8 or higher. 8 or higher.
That is 3 successes on 4 dice. All right, wow.
Good.
Just the 3 successes.
Describe what it looks like when you burn away the life of this death silk spider.
So Billy stops pouting for just a moment, and he snaps his fingers, and a fireball appears in his hand, and he sees everyone just whacking, slashing at the spider, and he just throws it in an arc, and it kind of lobs over their heads, and then just lands on top of the spider, and it hits some of the web, and it just goes up in flame.
I like it. And in the light of the flames lights up the interior of the barbican. You could see a couple of other cocooned bodies other than Sunny's other body. Or did that just completely disappear?
Completely disappear. Oh my god!
Okay.
Could you imagine if this was like
There's just Sunny's
everywhere.
leave bodies behind.
Like the Prestige.
There you go.
Oh no.
But there are other cocooned bodies in here, and you can see across the barbican in the light of the fire, double doors that are closed that you assume lead out into the bailey of the moat house. And that is where we are going to leave it tonight. We will return next week for our last session of heroic deeds as we see our beaten, bruised, and battered party enter the moat house and see if they can track down the missing partner and find the magic key. So I hope everybody had a good time. Please point out anything that I screwed up because I'm sure there is plenty. But I still hope you had fun with it. Jeff, I'm going to turn it back over to you to tell us about all the wonderful things that are going on.
Sure. We should plug Heroic Deeds up on Kickstarter now. Very, very close as of this recording. I think was closing in on 90% funded with still some time left. With still several days left.
15 days
15
left.
days.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to fund. So you should hop on over, take a look. If you're watching this later on VOD, YouTube, etc., check out the show notes. If you're listening to this as well on the podcast feed, same thing. I'll put links to the Kickstarter and all of those places. So go pop over and take a look. And there also is a Heroic Deeds Discord, so it's specifically for Heroic Deeds. If you're interested in sort of chatting about the sort of the behind the scenes, see what people are doing with it, that's another place to go take a look as well. So yeah, I think that's Heroic Deeds. As for us, well, what do we have next? Thursday, I think we got some Werewolf the Apocalypse. You can see everyone with the exception of Steven, as we are playing through some Werewolf the Apocalypse. We are likely concluding as we are assaulting a base, a paramilitary base that definitely doesn't have weird stuff hidden inside of it. Friday, we're doing some Delta Green where Melissa tried to kill Steven. So that's fantastic. That's really excited.
I've done that myself many times, and I've enjoyed it every time.
Oh, character numbers 3 and 3.
I think I enjoy it a little bit less, or a lot less.
She felt so guilty afterwards, and I'm like, why? It's Steven. If anyone deserved that, it's Steven. Like, if this was Ashley, that's one thing, but like, it's Steven. Who cares?
I've literally left her characters for dead, and that's what she did to me.
Your first two?
Together. The very first time you played together, you shut a door on her in Mothership, and she nearly got killed by a spider. And then you died twice at the end. It was great. And so after Delta Green, we got Call of Cthulhu on Saturday, doing some Eternal Lies. On Monday, we got a special one-shot. Our buddy Chuck, speaking of Kickstarter games, our buddy Chuck is running Teenage Odyssey. His game's going up on Kickstarter tomorrow, Valentine's Day, and you can kind of see how it's played next Monday. And next Tuesday, we'll be back for Heroic Deeds. And then, Aaron, what else do you have going on over at Garblag?
Well, on Garblag, normally you'd be able to tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9 p.m. in Great Britain and watch us continue our Marvel Multiverse Cataclysm of Kang. But since tomorrow is Valentine's Day and everyone decided it would probably be the end of all of our marriages and or our lives to even consider such a thing, we opted to skip So come back to Garblag on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead, and catch Pete Lattimore himself, the author of Heroic Deeds, running Heroic Deeds as he takes his group through the adventures. They're against the Red Hand of Doom classic adventure. He's been running it for a while. So if you want to see a master run this game, check that out on Thursday. Then come back next Tuesday at the same time for Millie, who will be continuing her Coriolis campaign.
Perfect. And then I swear like there's something else. Stephen, is there something else that we're forgetting to mention? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and raid. What? Oh, that's right. We have a Discord now. Stephen is being a brat. He's not role playing.
I have never been a brat in my entire life. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm making my own game. Speaking of all these games coming out, I'm working on mine, and it is an active play testing right now. And if you want to play it with me, just hop in the Discord, and in the rules channel, there's a little message where you can just click on a cowboy hat emoji, and you'll get opted right into the channel, where you can see all the events that are scheduled, and you can talk to me about the game, and we can find a time to play together. And occasionally, some of these other people show up too. So who knows? You might get to hang out with all of us.
That is true. That is very, very true. I think Kipser and Melissa are actually going to get to play it for the first time this week. So very excited. All right. That's it for us. Thanks to everyone who hung out and watched us. Thank to all of you who watched this later on stream. Aaron, thank you for running this. Pete, thank you for making this. And yeah, we're going to raid someone else. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Good night.